Hello and welcome to the November 13th edition of Titan TV News. I'm Gina Blaskie.
And I'm Steve Santucci.
And here's this week's news.
On November 13th, starting at 7 p.m. in Ames Library's Beckman Auditorium, the 2001 French film Amélie will be shown as part of the International Film Series. The story follows the whimsical story of a waitress, played by Audrey Tautou, living in contemporary Paris and her adventures in trying to better the lives of the people around her. The film is highly critically acclaimed, helped to inspire the 2007 TV show Pushing Daisies, and it's the highest grossing French language film released in the United States. The film, by the way, is free to watch for all IWU students who want to attend.
Also on November 13th at 7 p.m., the German film series will be showing the 2011 film Almania, Germany in Buck Room 12. The film focuses on Turkish guest workers as they try to adapt to their new German home. The film is in German, but don't worry, English subtitles will be provided.
And finally, today is Saga Giving. How could we forget? Which, for those of you who don't know, it's Saga's yearly Thanksgiving meal served at usual dinner times. Traditional Thanksgiving foods like turkey, stuffing, Waldorf salad, mashed potatoes, they'll all be there, along with much more. So bring your friends and enjoy some great food at Saga tonight. But make sure to get there plenty early because the line starts to get long very early. It's very popular. I've been there before, a couple times with friends. The food is great. But you do have to make sure you get there early.
I missed it last year, so I'm going to. I know. I'm still mad about it too, but I will be sure to be in line bright and early.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this.
No, definitely not.
It's like a holiday here.
I think it is.
On Wesleyan's campus. It's a big deal.
IWU's 25th Undercover is happening on Friday, November the 14th. At 9 p.m. in the Hanson Student Center, IWU students will be singing and performing cover songs of their choice. Undercover is a biannual Illinois Wesleyan student music competition sponsored by the Office of Student Activities. Each act will sing 2 cover songs for a panel of guest judges who will consider both performance and audience response to determine the competition's winner.
On Saturday, November 15th, running from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in State Farm Hall, Room 102, IWU's Language Resource Center will be hosting the 2014 Midwest Association for Language Learning and Technology Conference. This is a conference for language teachers and techies who are interested in how technology can assist language teaching and learning. Themes of the conference will be traditional, hybrid, and online teaching in modern and classical languages, exploring differences and creating communities. A full list of presenters is available in the description below.
Registration for the 2015 May term will start on Monday, November the 17th. May term, for you first years and transfers, is 3.5 weeks in May where you can take a single class for a few hours each day. Affectionately also known as play term, May term might have you in class for a few hours every day, but there's still plenty of time left to have fun with friends during the late spring months.
I took May term twice, and it was fun time.
It's my favorite part of IWU for sure.
Yeah, 3 hours of class, and the rest is, well, working on homework, but also just hanging out. It's a great experience. Do you think you're funny? Because if so, try out for Stand Up Against Cancer. Tryouts begin on Monday, November the 17th, starting at 7 p.m. in CNS room C101. Stand Up is a charity event where your peers do comedic routines in order to raise money for the American Cancer Society. The sponsor is Colleges Against Cancer. That's always a really fun event at the end of the fall semester.
Dr. Arturo Marquez Gomez, assistant professor in the Romance Languages Department of Kalamazoo College, will present Against the Bad Education, Pedro Lemebel, Student Movement and Sexual Rights in Contemporary Chile. The presentation will go from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the Beckman Auditorium. Marquez Gomez was born and raised in Santiago, Chile. His research focuses on contemporary Latin American cultural production, literature, film, and media. His current work focuses on Pedro Lemebel, a Chilean writer and performer whose project challenged the identity politics imposed by the military regime and neoliberalism. This event is sponsored by the Latin American Studies team of the International Studies Program, the Hispanic Studies Department, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and the Center for Human Rights and Social Justice.
On Tuesday, November the 18th, starting at 4 p.m. in the Beckman Auditorium, Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, or LGBT, elders, trainers Cecilia Hardacker, Kristen Kaglavitz-Baker, and Hector Salgado from Howard Brown Health Center, Chicago, will be on campus to present info about their health education curriculum in a series of LGBT cultural competency sessions. At this event, facilitators will discuss essential terminology, LGBT historical context, how to create inclusive atmospheres in living and working spaces, and legal issues commonly encountered by LGBT individuals. Hosted by Professors Amanda Hopkins of the Nursing Department and Carolyn Ladue, Hispanic Studies, as part of their series through the Mellon Foundation Recentering the Humanities Grant at IWU. Also, a musical adaptation of Pedro Almodovar's beloved film of the same name, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, is the brainchild of the talented team behind Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Both touching and hilarious, Women on the Verge is a story about women and the men who pursue them, finding them, losing them, needing them, and rejecting them. The musical is starting at 8 p.m. in the McPherson Theater.
Now we'll go over to a video written and hosted by IWU's own Amy Cedar, featuring Jordan Collins, and filmed by Titan TV about raising awareness for composting at the dugout.
In the U.S., approximately 12% of all solid waste is food scraps. While this may seem like a small percentage, it equals nearly 32 million tons per year. Food scraps and other compostable items are taking up valuable space in landfills, and in about 24 years, Illinois will run out of landfill space. Composting is an environmentally friendly way to divert waste from landfills by recycling nutrients back into the ground. Compost is used on local farms and gardens as fertilizer to grow more food. And in November of 2013, the dugout started accepting compostable items as part of its waste collection. Composting your waste is actually pretty simple, and it only takes 3 steps. The first step is to throw away anything that can't be composted. This means taking off the lid and your straw from your cup and putting it in the trash. Also, any chip bags or other plastic packaging go in the trash, as well as plastic utensils. The second step is to get rid of any recyclables you have, which include plastic juice cups, soda bottles, cans, and things like that. And the third and final step is to put everything else in the composting. So this means all food scraps, plates, bowls, paper cups, sandwich paper, and napkins. And if you ever get confused, just look at the board above each trash station. Excuse me, would you mind answering some questions about IWU composting?
Sure.
Hey, great. So, as you know, composting is very beneficial to the environment in many ways, but what do you think about Wesleyan's efforts to compost?
I think it's really great to see Wesleyan composting. Maybe if we expand ISU, everybody can do a part to help out their environment. So I think it's really, really great that everyone's composting.
Great. So when you and your friends eat in the dugout, do your friends make an effort to compost?
Yeah, we go up to the trash bins. We try to make a conscious effort to put things in our correct spot. So I think we do.
So what about you personally? What do you think about composting?
Well, actually, I didn't know too much about the environment until I talked to more people at Wesleyan about composting, and then I found out it's really easy to do, so I think it's really great.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In more global news, a recent airstrike near Mosul, Iraq last Friday may have killed ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. The airstrike hit a convoy of 10 armored ISIS vehicles, one of which may have been carrying al-Baghdadi. It is unknown if al-Baghdadi was for sure amongst the casualties at this time. This comes at a time when President Obama is requesting $5.6 billion to fight the extremist group and is sending an additional 1,500 troops to Iraq.
Also, in other global news, as Germany marked the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, that was last week, former Soviet Union leader Mikhail Gorbachev remarked that, quote, "The world is on the brink of a new Cold War." He claims that the U.S. has fallen victim to triumphalism and is the cause of the rising tensions between the West and Russia. Gorbachev said that President Obama should remove sanctions from Russian leaders and begin having more dialogue with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And now on to more domestic news, more about President Obama. Obama is to hold cross-party talks between Republicans and Democrats after this recent election. Last week, the Republican Party, as you may know, swept across the nation, winning the majority of elections from coast to coast, winning everything basically from local government seats all the way to taking Congress. Republican Bruce Rauner won the race for governor of Illinois, and national Republicans took control of the Senate, giving them control over both of the congressional houses. President Obama has vowed to work with this new Republican Congress on a variety of issues currently in gridlock. He has begun holding meetings with Speaker of the House John Boehner and now Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
And finally, for more domestic news once again involving our president, Barack Obama, President Obama has named New York federal prosecutor Loretta Lynch as his nominee for Attorney General. She was one of several candidates that Eric Holder, the outgoing Attorney General, recommended that President Obama should consider. She is known for her low-key personality and experience with civil rights and also corporate fraud issues. She will need to be confirmed by the new Senate that takes over in January.
And now on to the IWU sports section of the news, one of my favorite times of the news, really. Well, women's soccer, what did they do? Let's see. Heads. They lost to Wheaton College last Saturday, 0-1. But they take on the University of Dubuque this Friday in the NCAA Regional. The football team lost 7-13 at Wheaton last Saturday, but they take on North Park this upcoming weekend, Saturday at 1 p.m. at Tucci Stadium for their Seniors Day. And the men and women's cross-country team will be traveling to Winnicott, Wisconsin this Saturday for the NCAA Midwest Regionals. So we wish all of you Titans good luck this week. And we hope, oh, heads, what are you looking at? We hope your heads are up and things go well.
That's all the time we have for this week's edition of Titan TV News. I'm Gina Blaskie.
And I'm Steve Santucci.
Go
get 'em, Titans!